All right, football fans and soccer fans, it's the time that we've all been wanting to happen. The Premier League is back. We're on a match week number 8. I'm, of course, Jason Mattis with you, joined each and every single week by Matt. This is called Between the Posts, where we break down all the Premier League games and give you our official leans and bets for all the games. It's been a couple weeks since the international break. What's been going on there, Matt?
Oh, just MLB playoffs. My Giants tonight against the Dodgers in Game 5 is going to be huge. But yeah, NFL, just a lot of things have been working out well. So I'm in a good state of mind right now for the Premier League. Let's do this.
Let's do this. And make sure you're giving Matt a follow on Twitter. He's MattJ_Lawrence. So don't forget, we're also powered by BetUS, a fantastic sports book with great sign-up bonus. You can use cryptocurrency, and they've got great lines or odds. So go ahead and check out BetUS. If you need a link to go ahead and jump over to their page, it's in this video description. So just go ahead and grab it and check it out. Don't always always remind you guys, we always recap the previous week. I'll go first because Matt's probably forgotten about the 90-second recap. So I'll go ahead and jump
I'm
in
ready.
first.
I'm ready.
Now he's ready this week. Okay, well I had a bad week last week. One of my first bad week so far. The Premier League went 1-5, down 3.3 units. The only bet I got right was Norwich, unable to find the back of the net. I got their team total of under 0.5. Otherwise, Chelsea Southampton, the under 2.5 really got spoiled there by that red card that Southampton picked up. And then Chelsea bagged 2 more goals right there. Was it Newcastle Wolves didn't go under 2.5? Neither did Spurs. Villa didn't go up under 2.5. And then Rafinha and Antonio took all the shots but couldn't find the damn target because none of them went ahead and cashed their props. So, yeah, rough for me. And then Arsenal gets the push there on that draw no bet. So, my first bad weekend in the Premier League. Look to turn that around this weekend. What about for you, Matt?
Yeah, I think that it was for both of us then. It was my first, bad week. You know what I mean? I lost, about 3 units. I went 1-4. Had the Wolves, Newcastle, both teams to score, which cashed. But then, yeah, I was on Chelsea under 2.5, Spurs under 2.5. United just completely flopped against Everton. I had them -1. So, but yeah, just not a good week. But I mean, it's after the international break here now, and it's really time to focus on this league. This is when it gets good.
All right, and Matt just said it right there. It is the international break, so it can be a little bit tricky, but we're here to guide you through it. And the first match is Watford versus Liverpool. We'll let Matt break down this one, being the Liverpool fan that he is.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and it's kind of a tough one. I mean, I do have a play on this, but most likely I'll be locking this in just right before game time when I wake up early on Saturday morning. But this is my best angle for this match is, Fabinho, Allison. We're going to see if they're even going to be here for this one. We know that Watford have made a managerial change, and so I expect this match to be tight, and I expect Liverpool to come out and grab the 3 points like they've been beating up on these minnow teams. And I think that it'll be unders. So Liverpool and under 3.5 goals for me at +120.
Yeah, I think you said it right there. Liverpool generally beats up on the minnows. They're not like a Manchester United who can kind of slip up against a lower, table club. Liverpool handles business when they need to handle business. So I'm not too worried about that. You mentioned a couple of their Brazilian players that are obviously involved in late Thursday night, early Friday morning, depending on what time zone you're in. I think it will be tough for them to come around. They don't even probably get back to England sometime until Friday night, given that game will wrap up in England time, early Friday morning. So missing those players, that is a little bit of a concern. But yeah, to your point, it's the Minnows, it's Watford, a team that should easily handle. I like them to find the back of the net in both halves. I think I was a little bit cautious of, the spread of -1.5 or a team total or a halftime, full time, just in case they come out a little bit sluggish, after that international break, and maybe Watford steals a goal, maybe in that first half. So I just thought Liverpool to score in both halves was more the safer bet. So I went ahead and got that one at even money. You can get that one at even money. So I went ahead and liked that. If we go ahead and move it over now to Villa versus Wolves, this is one of my plays where I'm not feeling the strongest on of the card here of the 10 games of the Premier League. The only thing I like is under 2.5 is cashed in the last 3 of these games. We know Wolves have cashed under 2.5 in 6 of their 7 games. They've been struggling to score goals and really create chances. Villa, a little disappointing last time out. I thought they were going to be a little bit better up against a Spurs team that has struggled. Was expecting more to see from a Villa squad. It seemed like they were hitting their stride the previous weeks leading up to that. So the only thing I feel confident in is no goals in this matchup, but I don't feel confident enough to bet it. But I do lean under 2.5.
I agree. I mean, I think that Villa kept 2 clean sheets last season in this fixture. And yeah, it's a tricky one. But for me, right now, I would say probably unders. I would lean towards the home team here. But yeah, nothing for me on this one.
It was nice to see Raul Jimenez bag an international goal over that break, so that was good to see him get on the score sheet. Maybe he can carry that over into the Premier League because he's certainly one of the fun and talented players to watch in the league. So look to see if he can carry that on in. Man, battling
Yeah,
the score.
I cashed a USA Canada Mexico parlay last night.
USA, Canada. Yeah, cool. All right, good. Nice three-legged parlay right there. All right, let's move over now to Leicester versus Manchester United. Got Manchester United coming to this game. Definitely hit with injury crisis here in the center back position. No Varane, no Maguire. I think that's really going to hold them back in this fixture. If they had those two guys, I would probably like Manchester United. But given that, I'm a little bit put off now on Manchester United. Leicester, disappointing by Leicester in terms of they've ranked 16th. Of all 20 teams in the Premier League, they rank 16th in terms of shots taken. How is Leicester ranked 16th? They got to start shooting the ball. Good things can happen when you start pulling the trigger. For perspective, Manchester United ranks third on that same table. So United is not scared to pull the trigger, and that's why you're seeing one of these clubs find the back of the net where the other one has been struggling so far this season. So look for the Foxes to play a little bit better at home, coming out after the international break. They'll smell blood in the water, given that the center backs that they'll be facing will be Lindelof and Bailly. That's not going to be a good pairing when you're going up against some of this firepower that Leicester can go ahead and throw at you. So I like Leicester on the double chance. Pains for me to say it, being a Manchester United fan, but I think Leicester can get a result at home against Manchester United. So I like Leicester on that double chance at minus 120.
Goals for me. The last two times these teams have faced, there's been more than, I believe, 4 goals in either of them. And I see with both center backs, on both teams really having issues. Obviously, the injuries for United. Leicester center halves haven't been good in general in this beginning of the campaign. United are a great roadside. And for me here, this is the best bet of the week. Over 2.5 goals at minus 125 is what I found last night. And I think that it is clearly, I think it's going to be a goal fest here. I really do. I think that there's 4 goals in this game.
With it being goals, kind of like how you're saying, do you recommend throwing in a both teams to score, or you were just comfortable? Obviously, you were comfortable with over 2.5, but would you recommend anybody throwing in a both teams to score on that?
I would, yeah. I think that both teams do find the back of the net, so that's going to make this more around even money. I'm just being a little bit more cautious with it. But, yeah, I do think that that's probably the best angle, really, for this one.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, hopefully for my sake, hopefully I cash my bet, but it will be painful being a United fan. But obviously I'm betting with logic here and betting with stats and information. So, yeah, I like Leicester on that double chance, and you like goals. So it should be a fun, entertaining matchup.
I think it's one of those where the underdog, scores a goal, which then helps push this match up, and over the total.
Yep, yeah, exactly. We've seen it before. Let's hope you can get that cash right there. Let's move over now to Manchester City versus Burnley. I'm going right back to the well here. Cashed this same bet in both fixtures last season. It's Manchester City to win to 0 at minus 145, so a touch juicy. But again, I got 2 cashes on it last season. And looking up the information, just because I wanted to have some actual numbers here to go ahead and give you guys. Burnley versus City. City's got 8 straight wins. They've got 7 clean sheets in those 8 games. And in the last 3 Premier League head-to-heads, Burnley has 1 shot on target. Yeah, this is a game where City's been able to dominate. Doesn't matter if it's been at Turf Moor or at the Etihad. City has completely controlled Sean Dyche's side. I see much of the same. A Burnley team that's generally struggling to find the back of the net to begin with. They'll obviously struggle up against a Guardiola team that they've just absolutely struggled with. So it'll be sweaty just because win to nils always are. But we'll get there. We'll get there easily. We'll get a cash. And I'll go ahead and bet that at minus 145 easily.
Copy and paste for me. I think that's definitely the only angle to look at in this game. And yes, it might be sweaty, but that is the correct side, I think, Jason. I think that's a good play. Minus 145, I think that that's completely fine. I have nothing really else to add to this game. I kind of quickly just glanced right by it. I know that they've dominated Burnley over the years, and they should continue to do so. So, yeah, I just don't see Burnley finding the back of the net. If they can't find it against Norwich, how can they find it against City?
Exactly. I get a little cautious, though, on picking City to win by a margin because it is Sean Dyche, and a couple of those wins were only 2-0s. So I got a little bit nervous there. To me, the easy angle was Burnley just not gonna score, barely going to get a shot off. So, yeah, it's 1-0 easily for that one. Why don't you go ahead and kick it off with Norwich and Brighton? How do you see this one unfolding?
So 2 seasons ago, Brighton weren't as strong as what they are today. I think that Norwich is in the similar kind of regard as where they were 2 seasons ago. They couldn't pick up results in this league. They are the minnow of this league, and they will be finding the championship here in a few months. And 2 seasons ago, Brighton picked up 2 victories against Norwich, home and away. And I think that they're a lot stronger now than they were then. And to be able to find a plus 115 on Brighton to win on the road, looks like Basuma is going to be back here controlling the midfield. And I just really I struggle to want to back Norwich in any way, shape, or form. I could see this, Brighton. I don't see Norwich scoring really. So I think this is kind of an unders game, a close, tight one. But I do think that Brighton have enough in it to win this match on the road. So I've gone with Brighton.
I think that's a smart play right here. We kind of talked about it here on the show. I haven't backed Norwich in like a spot to do anything, but you keep talking about them. All right, well, they're going to be at home. They don't have any wins. They just got a draw, but they had only gotten 6 losses, and maybe this is an opportunity for them at home against a smaller club. No, you said it right. I mean, Brighton is the better team. They're well up in the top of the table. So far earlier on the season, they're playing with confidence. They're scoring goals. They've got a great little spine of their team right there, which is shutting it down. So I'm with you right there. It's Brighton on that money line. I got it plus 118. Then I went ahead and double dipped because their team total was also at plus money. I think Brighton can get 2 goals. So Brighton team total over 1.5 was at plus 126. So I hope to get 2 cashes from this game, a game in which Brighton should control. I mean, you said it, Norwich isn't scoring against Burnley. They're not scoring against anybody, quite frankly. They're just an absolute mess. You said it, they will be down in the championship. Just a matter of when they can be mathematically eliminated, and that'll happen sometime earlier on in the season. This is a train wreck of a team. It'll be Brighton all day long, and they'll get the victory. All right, Southampton versus Leeds. I didn't have much on this one. I struggled. What did you find for this one? I absolutely struggled.
So this is a really tough one, and this is one where this is like similar to the Liverpool one. I have written it down, but I haven't locked it in yet because there's so many question marks right now. But Leeds beat them home and away last season, and Southampton are missing James Ward-Prowse, their key midfielder here. He's the one that picks all of the right passes, all the set pieces. He's fantastic. And I think without him, it's going to be really tough for Southampton here. So I lean towards Leeds being able to find a way to win a 3rd straight match against Southampton. I've grabbed plus a quarter. I think that they can at least get a draw or a win here.
I get so nervous backing Leeds in this game only because they've been a disappointment this season, and I think we all have, the images of last season stuck in our head, and we're waiting for that same Leeds team to show up, but they just haven't done it this season. Last week up against Watford, they got the win, but it was only 1-0. I mean, they're not beating Watford, a newly promoted side last season 1-0. They're gonna get a few goals and probably give up a goal. This is just not the same team. So maybe I am just stuck on what they did last season and hoping they can get that. And then going up against the Saints, they've always been frustrating. I mean, played City already tough this season, played United tough. I mean, just a tough team to go up against. So just knowing how the Saints will set up at home, just stuck on what Leeds is so far this season, 7 games in. I don't have a good grasp on who they are. Complete stay away game for me. So I don't want any part of that game.
So a lot of this is like predicated on what the lineups are going to look like. But if a lot of these players are missing, I do think that this game is probably going to be an unders game.
Yeah, unders. Yep, I would agree with that right there. Under 2.5. Hopefully it's not too juicy. Maybe I'll get that in come lineup time. What do we got?
That's a big plus price, Jason. It's like under 3 right now.
Oh, perfect. I snag that.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get over 3 or under 3. Get the push. See what that is. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we got next in the matchup, we got Brentford versus Chelsea. I'm looking forward to this matchup. Like, I am looking forward to it. It's probably because I know how well Brentford played Liverpool a few weeks back at home, a nice 3-3 thriller. But I'm looking forward to this. Brentford has been good. They're in 7th place. They've got 12 points. Again, a good home draw there against Liverpool. They beat West Ham. I predicted they would beat West Ham. I thought that you're maybe going to see West Ham struggle coming off of Europa League on Thursday nights, and so far they've not performed good on either of those 2 occasions so far earlier on the season. But I predicted at least, that Brentford would be able to jump on West Ham and get the better of them, and that's exactly what they did. So I don't know if they get the better of Chelsea, but but I'm expecting them to score against Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea's players involved in international break, getting back on into the team. Brentford's been preparing for this game. I like both teams to score, and at plus 110, I think you could see a Brentford squad in that first half an hour really take it to Chelsea and see if they can't do it in front of their home crowd, get one. They may lose the game, but I like both teams to score in that plus money. That's where I'm at on this game.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit different on this one. I do think that Chelsea will be able to control this one. I think that Brentford are going to keep it tight, and I think that this is an unders match, and I think that Chelsea probably win it and it stays under. Chelsea and under 2.5, Chelsea and under 3.5, or just the unders in general is where I would be going here coming off the international break. It's a tough fixture to predict again. I mean, there's so many question marks right now with lineup. So, I mean, as a viewer, I would just suggest just kind of, I think that these are one of those weeks where you wait and you just, dot your I's and cross your T's here before you really finalize your bets.
I mean, to your point, Chelsea's been good on the road, 2 wins and a draw, and they've gone up against good competition in Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool. So they'd likely control this game. I'm just hoping that Brentford can jump out on them. It's not a bet that I made, just a lean that I have. Something feels that Liverpool game, you obviously watched it. I know you watched it and I watched it. It was just a good game. They were able to take it to Liverpool during times of that match, and maybe Chelsea is a touch better, maybe defensively, but yeah, I think maybe they can scrape one across here and get both teams to score. But I think you're right there. Chelsea probably pulls one out, low scoring game. Under 2.5, is it bettable? Do you know the price on that?
I don't know the price on it, but I'm assuming it's probably not the greatest price.
Not the greatest price, yeah. We've been riding that. But
yeah, I know. I think it's probably going to be in that minus 150 range.
Minus 150, yeah.
Let's see here. Minus 125.
Ooh, man, let's get a look. Come see lineup, so I have to give that a look. All right, what about for Everton and West Ham? What's going to happen on this one?
Tricky one again. This is one that I need to see lineups. Everton are in fantastic form as West Ham are. I mean, both solid managers, solid squads. Very tough to split these two. I'd be looking on a Thursday right now. I'd be looking towards the draw. I don't see much really different with these two teams.
Yeah, to your point, the last campaign, the away side won both fixtures 1-0. So definitely a cagey and a low-scoring match right there. I don't think, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, but Everton's conceded possession throughout so far this early course of the season. I mean, hell, at home they let Norwich and Southampton have more of the possession. If they do that against West Ham, I think that's the wrong strategy though. I don't think this is a team with an attacking prowess that they have. Am I right here that if they give West Ham 60%, I think that's wrong. I think West Ham could then punish them and maybe come away with the victory if they're given that much possession.
Possibly, but Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin should be back now, and I think that Richarlison is like one of the perfect counter-attacking type of players in this league. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But right now, if you're a Blues fan, I mean, just trust whatever Benitez is throwing out there because the mix is really good.
Yeah, it really is. The last 5 Premier League head-to-head fixtures have been entertaining. There's been all but one draw, although under 2.5 is hit in all of those games right there. So maybe this one will be low score. My lean, though, was over 2.5. I don't know. Something tells me I feel goals. West Ham attacking. You mentioned that the players that Everton has coming back into their 11. I don't know. I saw goals, and over 2.5 at minus 116. That was my lean for this game. All right, we got Newcastle versus Spurs. You've been riding Newcastle all season long. You going to ride them here in this fixture? What do you got going on with this one?
I'm going back to it again. I'm just taking them to score. They will score. I think that Spurs will score. The big Newcastle takeover is just going to probably amplify this one up just a bit, and should be a crazy kind of match. And I just see, that Newcastle are a team that I want to back to score goals, even against really anybody except for maybe like Liverpool, Chelsea, and City. I think that I want to bet on them to score a goal, and I think that their defense is really bad. So, both teams to score here, minus 140, minus 145. Looks pretty darn good.
Does the Premier League have room for more oil money? Do we have room for more oil, more money?
I think that there's always more room in the Premier League for more money, and unfortunately.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Newcastle can potentially rise up the table because the owners will certainly be splashing cash around as we see with these owners that enter the league. So I'm gonna be looking forward to that. Last campaign, to
Yeah.
your point, both teams to score would have cashed in both of them. There was a nice 1-1 draw and a 2-2 draw. I remember the 2-2 draw because I was on Tottenham that day. And if I recall, Newcastle got one very, very late, so upsetting for me. But you're seeing goals in this fixture nonetheless. Newcastle still winless on the season at home at St. James Park, so maybe they'll be looking to have a little bit better of the possession and maybe get a win right here. Spurs aren't scoring. They've only got 6 and 7 games, but Newcastle aren't a whole hell of a lot better. They've only got 8 goals in 7 games. But you've touched on it here on the show. Newcastle's at least creating chances, so I think that's always in their favor. Is they're giving themselves an opportunity. Spurs giving themselves less of an opportunity, but we know it's only a matter of time before their attacking players can start to click right there. I looked up the home and away form for these teams. The home and away form for Newcastle Spurs says over 2.5 should hit. I didn't add both teams to score on that. Maybe I'll go back and maybe do it, but over 2.5 at minus 125 is where I went. So we kind of see this game similar. We definitely both see goals. I do think both teams will score as well. So if you wanted to add it on, much like I think we talked about earlier, one of your games, I can't remember what it was now, but I think adding 2.5 to mine is an okay play. Or if you just wanted to play Matt's or mine, either way, goals are going to be had in this fixture for sure. All right, then we got Monday's game. Monday, Arsenal playing on Monday because there's no European football for Arsenal. Woo! All right, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. What's going to happen here, Matt?
Oh gosh, this is a pretty easy pass for me. I mean, if Arsenal roll out their best 11, I think that they'll scrape this one. I do. I think that what Arsenal are cooking up right now in terms of their lineup is a good thing. It's a good thing, and I think that Palace, they've made a couple of really nice signings, and I need to start finding ways to back Palace. I do, because I love what Gallagher has done there, right beside Zaha and Co. So I think that I would rather be on Arsenal here, but again, and this is on a Monday. Let's see how my weekend goes, Jason.
Okay, you want to start backing Palace. This may not be the right spot to back Palace, only because I've backed them at home. We've seen them play pretty decent at home. They're not playing good on the road. And to your point, if Arsenal trots out the 11 players that we expect them to trot out, I don't think Palace can get the job done. Just their away form's been really terrible. They do have some common opponents. They both destroyed Tottenham this season, and they both got a draw up against Brighton. So you do have maybe that to lean on, but I'm going to lean on Palace's just absolute away form here, mixed in with Arsenal starting 11 that we know we should get. Coming off international break, these guys will be fully training all weekend long. I like Arsenal in this spot. It was tough for me to find the odds. I'm still trying to work it out because of the juice, but Arsenal in some capacity, halftime, full-time, something. I like Arsenal in this picture. I think they get it done pretty easily against a Palace team that's been pretty poor away from Selhurst Park. All right, so that's all 10 games. Let's go ahead and throw up our bets. Let's let Matt walk his way through his first, and then I'll go ahead and toss mine up. So, Matt, what are we betting on this weekend?
So United Leicester over 2.5. That was the one that we were kind of touching on. I think it's the best bet on the board, just with the United's defense being injured, Leicester's defense not being great all season, really. We know that United score goals on the road. I wouldn't be shocked to see Ronaldo get on the score sheet as well. So I would keep that one in mind. It's just one that I want to keep betting, really. I want to keep betting Ronaldo to score because he pops up in all of the right areas.
It looks like
Liverpool.
that's your banker. You got a 2-unit. Have you had a 2-unit play this season, or is this your first one?
No, this is my first one. I see it with the injuries, and I think that both teams will be competitive. I like your Leicester double chance. So hopefully, maybe Leicester can find the back of the net first and really push United to get into attack mode here. That would be preferred for this bet, I think. Liverpool and under 3.5. They should be able to get this job done even without Fabinho and Alisson. Claudio Ranieri, though, is a fantastic manager and is now the new manager of Watford. He said that if he would take his team out to dinner if they keep a clean sheet in his first match against Liverpool. So I do see unders.
So the
Liverpool
boys are going hungry that night.
and, here's the other thing, too, though, is that Liverpool, they remember their last time at Vicarage Road, and it was a loss. It was when they had that unbeaten season kind of going, and they got beat. So I think that they'll be on red alert. They'll be fully focused here, no matter who they play, and it should be an unders type of fixture. Brighton against Norwich. Enough said.
Enough said. That's
I
literally
think
it.
that they should. I think that they should be able to scrape it. It's not going to be easy, but I think that they should own a lot of the possession and find the back of the net at some point. And I find it tough for Norwich to do the same. Leeds, kind of a play on last season, but again, a play that I'm waiting on. I need to see the lineups, but it looks like sharps do like Leeds. I was looking at it last night. They were plus 225. Now today they're plus 190. So there is some interest in Leeds in the marketplace. And I think it might be because they beat them both home and away last season. But yeah, I really need to see what players are coming back. But yeah, James Ward-Prowse, when he's out of the lineup for Southampton, I want to bet against him. It's as simple as that. He is their engine that makes that team work. And then just a classic, both this plays hit last season. And again, I'd really like Newcastle to score goals with this team. So yeah, both teams to score in that one. And yeah, I can see Newcastle being really competitive at home in that one.
Nice. Looks like a lot of winners right there. On my slate, I've got Liverpool to score in both halves. Like that one there at plus money. Like Leicester on that double chance. Again, that one got minus 120. It'll be painful for me to watch, but I love to cash bets more than I do to get the 3 points. So let's go ahead and get Leicester to win. Manchester City is going to dominate Burnley, folks. Get them to win to nil at minus 145. Matt touched on Brighton and why they're going to win, but I also double dipped and grabbed their team total at plus 126. And then Spurs, Newcastle were both right there again. Tons of goals in that matchup and should be good as we fly up over 2.5. We need a nice, good bounce back week, Matt. Nice, good bounce back. We're going to do it.
Yes.
It looks like we got some bangers of winners there. I love that. Love your banker right there. 2-unit play. Love it.
I like your double dipping.
Because they're both at plus money, I love it.
I like it too. No, I agree.
All right, guys. Hey, appreciate all the likes during the show. Saw them roll in. Appreciate the comments. Things are true. Appreciate that thumbs up. Appreciate everybody enjoying those. Again, go ahead and check out BetUS. Got that link in this video description. As always, good luck with your picks. Unless you're fading us, then we wish you nothing but bad luck. Come back next week. Come here, listen about all of our profit, and then you can tail us next week and see just how it goes. All right, Matt. Enjoy match week number 8, man.
You too, Jason. Go San Francisco Giants.
Go Giants tonight.